There are those that have seen the future. They've seen our disasters and our wars. For years, these remote viewers were a part of a military research program, accurately foreseeing the outcome of global events. But when they expected to see a future of prosperity, what they saw was our end. Now, the military officer in charge of this top-secret program shatters the silence, revealing to the public what the governments of the world have known all along.
The Norwegian government has finished construction of the Doomsday Vault to protect the world's plant species as sort of a modern-day Noah's Ark. More than 100 countries have backed the project.
To warn you.
Viewers began to pick up on a very large event that at first I thought was a nuclear war.
To prepare you.
Will cause the deaths of millions of people. I don't want to believe it.
To help you survive.
Knowing where to go with your last tank of gas is so important.
The Killshot.
We're going to come back in a moment as we talk about North Korea, the Killshot, Comet Ison, with Major Ed Dames. They call him Dr. Doom. Find out why. And, of course, foremost remote viewer and a teacher, Major Ed Dames, U.S. Army retired, decorated military intelligence officer, one of the original members of the U.S. Army prototype remote viewing training program as well. He served as the training and operations officer for the Defense Intelligence Agency's Psychic Intelligence Collection Unit, currently serving as the executive director for the Matrix Intelligence Agency, which is a private consulting group. His website, learnrb.com. Now, explain what you mean by the kill shot, because to me, that sounds like everybody's wiped out.
Yeah, it was probably long ago. It was probably a bad choice of words, but I used it. I used it because on Coast to Coast, I said, "Here comes the shot across the bow of the largest solar," and 2 weeks later, the largest solar flare in history popped up in 2003. And then I told Art Bell that that's not the kill shot, and that term stuck. The kill shot, and all this is explained on the DVD. Folks can see this. When this large passing space body comes by, the sun begins to produce massive solar flares, not just one. And it does not take out all life on Earth. It begins to turn Earth into a radiation rotisserie, upper atmosphere, not only just the upper atmosphere. But in this large passing space body comes by, the sun begins to produce massive solar flares, not just one. And it does not take out all life on Earth. It begins to turn Earth into a radiation rotisserie, upper atmosphere, not only just the upper atmosphere. But and I've talked about this on your show many, many times. So that what happens is, and right now I'm putting together a lot. We're doing a lot of work on death zones, I call them, in-house. But the impact areas for when this starts in 2013, 2014, where are all these deaths going to occur and by what means? Most of the deaths will be of starvation because water is going to dry up. The heat will go up intensely in many parts of the world, not all over at once. So over the years, I've done a lot of private contract work for sanctuary areas, where the best survival areas will be for people. I go into I use remote viewing for them personally. And by the antithesis of that, we're looking at where folks aren't going. For instance, I was wondering for many years why parts of British Columbia that fit as far as we're concerned, looking at hundreds and hundreds of these personal sanctuary locations, why there weren't a lot of sanctuary locations in British Columbia. Because, not near the coast, inland, because it's perfect. It's got a lot of fish, a lot of fresh water, not large population densities, educated population, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out that these sanctuary locations are not just sanctuaries from kill shot effects, personal sanctuary locations, but also from Fukushima, and the radiation from Fukushima, because that plume is coming down on British Columbia. So what we're trying to do now is look at the most dangerous areas on the planet and trying to put together some matrix to determine what people are doing. I'll pass that out. That'll be ready, but I'm going to do 2 terminal speaking events in Orlando and Reno in the fall. These are closed doors, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But I'll pass out those maps at those events. I have to do the events because there's so many things I cannot say in the public, in particular in the media like this, that are very sensitive, not just politically incorrect, extremely sensitive, extremely important things that people need to hear about their government, about economic survival as well as regular survival. I can't do it on the air, George, so I've got to do it behind closed doors, and then people must sign a non-disclosure agreement if they come to those two speaking events.
How come? Why?
Because I'm walking the edge. I'm walking the edge. Remember,
you're laying it out this time.
Quasi-classified. It's very sensitive, and I'll get you and me in trouble, and by talking just about a little bit of it.
Would it cause a panic?
Part of it probably would, George. Yeah, probably would. That's why I sit down behind closed doors with folks and systematically go over the stuff that they need to know, that some of them suspect, conspiracy theories otherwise, but are important for them and their families. And my family, even Dr. Doom is beginning to get scared now.
Even Dr. Doom is starting to mellow a little bit, huh?
Yeah, and getting scared. And when Dr. Doom gets scared, that should be a red flag to a lot.
Ed, we're going to get into some various aspects of your remote viewing abilities and see what else you see here. But the Hopis called it the Blue Star. Revelation calls it Wormwood. Are we talking about
Casino?
Yeah, are we talking about the same thing here?
I think so. That's my surmise. Yeah, when you see the Blue Star Casino dancing in the plaza, or a dancer takes his mask off, then it begins. Yeah, when you see the Blue Star Casino dancing in the plaza, or a dancer takes his mask off, then it begins.
Ed, there's a comet that's heading toward Mars. Take the time, if you can, one day to do a little remote viewing there and see if it's going to hit it or not. Okay,
I'll try to do that. Look at that. But we're very much focused on this ISON committee, this ISON Society's discovery. It's very, very scary.
I hear Hollywood's jumping aboard the Killshot too. What's going on there?
Yes, actually, I'm going to co-produce Smokewood Entertainment, the one that produced the movie Precious. They're actually going to do a Killshot movie, and partially based upon my life and work.